Hey there, friend, and welcome to my January 17th, which feels a little bit weird to say because the day is ending. It is 8:30, and I'm sitting down to film for the first time today. With yesterday being a heavy vlog style day and like carrying my not carrying my camera around, I have a phone that I use as my camera, but filming everything that I did yesterday had me not really wanting to do that today. And so I planned for a little bit more of a sit down style video for today, and I didn't do it. So yeah, other things got in the way, stuff that I should be doing, so it's okay. But with that, I had to come up with something because I was like, shit, well, still gotta post a video today. So the funny thing is, like, I actually have a few ideas for videos that I want to make and things that I want to sit down and chat with you about, share with you. But yeah, I just not feeling any of them currently. And so I was trying to figure out just like something a little bit more random to share, kind of like a quick story or something like that. Now, I will be fully honest that, full transparency, it is Monday evening, it's 8:30, there's football on. So between that and how my mental energy, my brain clarity dips pretty significantly after 8 p.m., at least when it comes to stringing together thoughts and words. Just not gonna be super long here. But what I came up with was something that was gonna talk about somewhere along the way. One of the things that I want to do on this channel, and I guess I'd like to hear from you if you have feedback on this, is to share things that I am learning, things that I am interested in, passionate about, books that I'm reading. I'll probably do it regardless, but if you have a particular opinion on this, I would love to know. So hit me up below. My thought process for this is that I am multi-passionate. I'm always get interested in new things. I go through phases, I go through waves, and a lot of times this is something that is kind of looked down upon, or frowned upon, or kind of like going all in on something and then dropping it is it's just not something that's like highly encouraged in our society. That's like, pick one thing, get really good at it. Even with hobbies and stuff, it's like, I think it's like a little bit more understood there, but yeah, I think in general though, it's just not encouraged. So for me, that's the way that I do things. I go all in on something for a short period of time, and I usually get my fill of it, and then I'm done. Now, it's not like that with all things, but with kind of hobbies and things like that, it usually is. So for me, I was kind of known for this. One of my buddies in grade school, high school, he had mentioned, like, when I would be interested in something, he was like, oh, great. Like, now we're not going to see Ben for the next 3 months. He's going to go get great at it, and, like, that'll be that. I think he specifically was talking about that, like, when I didn't play hockey until after college, ice hockey. I didn't learn how to ice skate until after college. Didn't play ice hockey until after college, and yeah, I did not get great at it. It's very hard to get good at something that requires so much skill that late in life. But I did pick it up very quickly, and it's just because I did all the things, and I just like went all in. But yeah, I did that with skateboarding when I was a kid, although I love skateboarding, and I did that for years. Did that with sports. Lacrosse was something that was totally new to me when I entered high school, and just did all of the things, like entered as soon as I picked up a stick and was like, oh, this seems cool. Just like did all the camps, got a lacrosse net and put it in my backyard, my parents' backyard at the time. So anyways, all of this is just to provide a little bit of context for how I become obsessive about sinking my teeth into something, and yeah, just like what that is for me. So back to the point here and for this channel is that I thought it would be fun to bring some of that stuff to the table, just to share, if nothing else, for me to learn it a little bit better, because as we probably all know, you learn something much more well. I was gonna say much better, but like more deeply when you are able to teach it, or when you are planning to teach it or trying to teach it. So I thought this was like kind of a fun opportunity. I'm like, oh, well, I could like do that with this kind of stuff. Now, I'm not teaching you anything tonight, but I at least wanted to kind of like open this conversation and share a little bit about what one of those things is currently. I don't have a ton of space right now because, well, I guess this could technically be considered in this category, but because I'm doing so much studying to get back into a technical line of work, that's taking up a lot of my free time that I would engage in other projects or learning or hobbies or whatever. But I guess, yeah, maybe I could share a video on that at some point in terms of like what that stuff actually looks like and why I kind of nerd out on it. But the one thing that I did want to share today is about lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is something that I've always been fascinated by. I have lucid dreaming books still that I bought when I was much younger, in high school, I think probably at the time. Yeah, like, so, 15, 16 years old probably. Something that, yeah, just like always fascinated me and continues to fascinate me. And so I went really hard on it for a while in that time period of my life to try to become good at lucid dreaming and be able to like do it. I've always kind of had in the back of my head that I want to like pick that back up or do that later, ebbs and flows over the course of my life. But recently I was like, I really, really want to get into that again. It feels like a good point in my life. I feel like also with the way that I'm shifting in my life in terms of what I'm doing with kind of like having less ownership over like my business or being self-employed and moving into being employed and having a paycheck come from somewhere else, and not, I've talked about this a little bit in other videos, but like one of the things I struggled with my own business is that I just get this tunnel vision on that kind of what I talked about in this video, but in a way that blocks me out from experiencing a lot of other things in life, because I'm so focused on building the business or getting better at things for my business, whether that's the craft or the business side of things. And so I haven't given myself a ton of space outside of that to sink into hobbies and just things that are a little bit more leisurely. So one of the things that I'm looking forward to kind of in this newer phase of my life is getting back into that, doing hobbies and things like that, which is why I was like, I could share about some of this stuff. So lucid dreaming. For any of you that don't know what lucid dreaming is, it is essentially become conscious that you are dreaming. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You are within the context of your dream still, and you realize, hey, I'm dreaming. This may not seem like a big deal, but it is one of the coolest experiences. And pretty much anybody that's had a legit lucid dream will tell you as much. Like, just go try to like read up on excuse me, lucid dreaming accounts or recounts, I guess, if you haven't heard of that or read up on it, because it's really interesting. But basically, it's just I've got to imagine, because I haven't taken the psychedelic drugs, I have to imagine it's kind of similar in terms of the like depth of emotion that occurs in those situations. It's kind of hard to put into, I mean, it's impossible to put into words, really. But it's like colors are so vibrant, sensations are so deep. I don't know. It's just like, it's the most amazing thing to me that we can become conscious inside of a world, in a moment, in a situation that we've created, like that our own brains have created, and that we can exist there and traverse that environment. So, quick story on one of my first lucid dreams ever. So, I've only had a handful of lucid dreams, so I'm by no means an expert or proficient at this, but I have had a handful. I had one recently, so I was super excited about that. Since I started reading this book that I've been reading, which is, I believe, Learn to Lucid Dream. I will, if I remember, I'll try to throw in a screenshot of the cover or something here, or throw it down below. But I think I got it through Kindle Unlimited. So since I have that, it's a super easy grab, and it's been a really easy, practical read so far, which is cool. But one of my lucid dreams from when I was younger was I was like in a forest, and I was like just walking around, or I don't know what I was doing, but I don't remember what it was. Usually there are events or things that you can train yourself to kind of look for cues, dream signs is the technical term, things that can kind of trigger you to be like, oh, wait a second, am I awake or am I dreaming? Oh, I must be dreaming. I don't remember what it was in this particular case, but because I was in a forest and I realized, like, wait a second, I think I'm dreaming. And I proceeded to run through the forest with my arms out like this, both arms just spread wide, and chopping all the trees down with my arms because I was dreaming, and my arms meeting trees in a dream was no match. So yes, so just to provide a little bit of context in terms of like what that can look like. Of course, I've flown in dreams. The two most common things are flying, and at that age especially, it had to do with girls. If you catch my drift there, it's about having experiences that you either can't in your life, in physical reality, or ones that you wish to, or things that I haven't personally done this, but one of the ways that people use lucid dreaming is to actually like act out scenarios, something that they want to work on in their life. So if they're scared of public speaking, they can public speak in their dream. And again, if you have no exposure to this, it probably sounds really crazy and kind of ridiculous, but many people attest to this dramatically shifting their fear or the way that they go about doing something in real life then. So for me, one of the things that I want to short term for lucid dreaming, I just want to go have like a cool experience. I want to, like, yes, flying. There's really nothing as exhilarating as that feeling. Now, many people have flown in dreams before. You don't have to be lucid to fly in a dream. But if you are consciously controlling your flight and like where you're flying and stuff like that, that's pretty fucking epic. So yes, so I just want to kind of like take in my dream surroundings. I want to see what my mind has created. I want to get curious about that. I want to like see, feel, hear, smell it. Can you smell anything in dreams? Interesting. I'll have to get back to you. And yeah, fly because that's cool, and just do fun stuff that you can't do in real life. I already forget what I did in my most recent lucid dream. I think it was like in the street or something. I like smashed a car. Just so stupid, but it's like as soon as you realize you're dreaming, it's like you want to test those limits and just see what you can do. At least I do. So lucid dreaming is the one thing outside of my studying that's on the docket right now. I am reading the book How to Lucid Dream, Learn to Lucid Dream. And yes, just something that I am absolutely fascinated about. I think it is the coolest thing in the world. It is the coolest feeling in the world when you do wake up inside of your dream and you're experiencing that. Oh, I remember, I'm gonna wrap this up on an experience I had. So I have a recurring dream. I'm not gonna analyze this here. I know why I have this dream. So feel free to try to analyze it and I'll let you know if you're right. I've had this recurring dream where something is chasing me, and it's like a big scary thing, and no matter what I do, I can't get away from it. Even if I like hide or even if I run far enough away, it just morphs into something else and is like right back there to get me. I can't kill it. I can't, like when I am confronted with it, there's literally nothing I can do. Can't run, can't hide, can't overcome. And so in this dream, there was a guy that actually how I became lucid was there's some figure, it was a person in this case, that was chasing me and just like freaking me the fuck out. Like when he came up close to me, and I don't know what it was, but I was like, wait a second, I think I'm dreaming. And I'm like, I'm not scared of you. And he like came up to me and kind of tried to get in my face, and I was like, I'm good, man. What do you need? What do you want? And he just kind of like, oh, this isn't any fun anymore, slunk away. So yes, realizing now that a lot of this probably makes me sound like a crazy person. So if you've had a lucid dream, please let me know so that I don't feel so alone. Dreams in general, even outside of lucid dreaming, have always been fascinating to me. I just think it's the coolest thing that our minds can create these very, very real, vibrant, and pretty, dreams are crazy and weird and are not coherent all the time, but there are still moments of them that are, and I just find that to be so cool. How this became 20 minutes, I don't even know. If you're still listening, thanks for hanging out with me for this little bit here. We'll see if I actually end up using all of this, I guess. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today. Let me know all of your feelings on lucid dreams, dreaming in general, and what you may be studying. Oh, and if you like this idea of me sharing these topics a little bit more from like a teaching standpoint and kind of showing you, like what lucid dreaming is, how to do it in like a very quick breakdown. See you tomorrow.